go.
Woo! It is Sweet Subversives. Again, here we are. Us beautiful ladies. We're out there. Oops, I didn't want to do that one. I want to do this one. There we go. Technical difficulties. It's all in the brain. How you doing, Cara?
Good.
Oops.
It's, I think we're both like crazy busy, but good.
Oh, isn't that the way it is though? Like no matter what, like successful people or busy people, they just fill up their time, and then the more things that are in your time, you just like get more things and more things.
Hey, Jared, we'll be seeing you this weekend.
Yeah, hello, Jared. Yay!
Yeah, so I found out that so Jo Jorgensen is coming to Minnesota.
I heard, but what day is she
she's
coming?
doing that. She's, doing the bus tour again.
Yeah.
So she'll be in Minnesota on September 24th.
24th?
And
okay.
Yeah, 24th.
I'm looking. That's a Thursday. Okay.
Yep. And so then I found out today that I'm planning it.
Guess what? You need to clone yourself.
I wasn't supposed to be, but now I am. So there you go.
Oh, well, if I was going to have somebody plan my event, it would be you. I think you would be the best person. You would make it beautiful and lovely.
So yeah, so I found out kind of, like, oh yeah, so Jared is also the city manager. Yes. So yeah, so I'm trying to scramble and get venue options lined up and the volunteer coordinator, and there's like a long checklist of things to get done really quick. And yeah.
I don't know about that.
Sure. I don't care. Come on over. I don't care. I have scotch. I have whiskey. I have vodka. Name it, and I will have it.
And if anybody gets out of hand, Mabel will just bite on them.
Exactly. So Pat, come on over.
Yay! Party at Cara's.
That's right. So yeah. So like, evidently, I had a little stress today, and then I was like, God, what smells so awful?
What?
And it was me. It was me because I had stress sweat, and it was like, you know what that's like. I was not fresh. So when I walked around my house, I was like the opposite of an air freshener. I was like an air defreshener.
I had one of those days too. I got done with work at about 4:30, and I'm like, what smells?
And yes, Jared, I have bourbon. So if you want bourbon, I have bourbon.
Bourbon. Also, although bring more, because then there'll be more bourbon. Why not? So yes, I know what the stress sweats are like. I had that today, and my hair's still wet because it takes like 3 hours for it to dry. So, yay, stress! I love this week. And it's a short week, so it shouldn't be so bad, but it is. And now you have like some big things coming up,
Yes,
like this weekend, and then in a couple weeks.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get stuff set for this weekend. So I mean, it's not like the LNC thing is on me. It's not, I just have the Friday night or the Friday day door knocking, and then the Friday evening event. And then, so Saturday is the LNC meeting, where it's the actual meeting.
Cool.
And I need to do a presentation and a pitch for a proposal. So yeah, no, it's not. I know, Jared, it's not. It's totally not, because we're working all weekend.
Not only be like kind of getting some stuff together for people, but you are also going to present.
Yes.
No pressure.
Right.
You can do it though. You're going to do great. And then after that, we'll just drink. It'll be okay.
So yeah, and then Saturday is the reception. Saturday night is the LNC reception, and if people want to do that, they can definitely sign up for that. It is, I believe, $75, and then it's, but the booze is free then. So yes, so Saturday night we have a reception, but yeah, afterwards, party at Cara's.
Hell yeah. Hell
because
to the
Heather's
yeah.
staying at my
I
house.
am. We'll have lots of fun. You can see both of us at the same time. This is going to be epic.
Yes, kind of like this, but in person.
But real. I mean, this is
Right,
real, but more real because we'll be like
right.
people. And you can
So
go,
real.
woo! And then I'll go, stop that. No touchy, no. No, no, no. You go to our Patreon if you want to touchy touch. Then you say, that, no, I mean, not like this. Like, ooh. I mean, that's like a lot more money. That's another tier that we haven't discussed yet. We don't even have a
Yeah.
Patreon person. So,
Yeah, we
you
would
know,
need to have a different tier for that. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, oh my God, Jared,
Oh,
right?
Jared.
It's been
It has been 2
2 years.
years. It's
I
been
know
2
it.
years.
So both at the same time. It'll be great to see everybody. All those really cool people. Jared's really cool people. You
Yes.
know,
Pat's gonna be there.
Pat's gonna be there. Oh my
Uh-huh.
God.
So
Like,
Pat is gonna do he's gonna do a podcast from Chris Cleveter's backyard.
oh, cool. That'll be awesome.
Yeah,
And
I'm kind of excited about that. That'll be really cool.
yeah. Well, and Chris is a really cool person, you know. So I mean, like, there's so many good things coming out of all of there are good things coming out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say,
Yeah. And I'll tell you, Chris has been working his butt off on his campaign. He has been knocking doors. So,
well, Addie knows Cara.
oh, hi,
Yay!
Addie. That is their little daughter.
Yay,
Um,
Genesis!
you can tell Addie next time I will have Cheetos for her. They
Cheetos.
visited our house. They did not have any kid food.
Oh my gosh, Cara. I
I
mean, you
know.
don't really have kids over very often, so
No, so I was like, "Would you like a cheese plate? Some olives,
charcuterie.
pickles?" Yeah, I know.
Do you drink
Would
hard
you like
cider yet?
stuffed grape
How old
leaves?
are you?
Perhaps, perhaps some smoked salmon?
Oh,
Isn't Minneapolis an Antifa-controlled city?
that's a good question. I don't know. Sometimes I think so.
I, you know, I have my thoughts on Minneapolis and St. Paul.
They're different than the rest of the state. I will just say, you know, like the downtown areas, they're going through some different stuff.
I would say no one is in control of
That
Minneapolis and St. Paul right now.
that is correct. That is correct.
So if you
Not
all want
even
to visit Minneapolis and St. Paul, you are welcome to do so. I will not be joining you.
go under like be prepared for leaving in a hurry. I think, you know, like you may get there and go, oh, this is what they're talking about. Okay, bye. But if you like visiting war zones and that sort of thing, this may be the trip for you. Go downtown Minneapolis. I think it's cleaner right now. It's not as dangerous right now, but don't go at night.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I'm not talking protests. That's not what's happening.
no, it's just like people are robbing everyone all the time.
Yeah, we're having a lot of broad daylight assaults, robberies,
Like on our light rail downtown, you know,
a
like
lot.
they jump on, they steal stuff, and then they jump off. So just be
So
careful if you're from out of town.
it's just a little dicey.
Yeah. I used to love going downtown on the light rail, and we used to do it all the time. And I haven't for a while, and probably won't for a while. That's just because it's a little scary right now. We live in a really weird world.
That
Minnesota
we do.
is not so nice right now.
No.
Minnesota's like, hey, I don't know you. Shut the door. Yeah, but we're gonna get all of our hospitality out this weekend. All of it. It's gonna be glorious.
And there are a ton of fun things to do and see when you are in the Twin Cities. So,
Yeah.
and I did my handy guide, my Cara's handy guide to Minneapolis and St. Paul area. Different things that you can do. I've added a few things to that, different restaurants you can go to when you're going to be in the Burnsville area, because I know some of you are coming in Friday morning, some are even coming in Thursday night.
Ooh.
So if you want to hit Burnsville earlier in the day, there's lunch options for you, breakfast options for you. We have a waffle place that you can go to It is not a Waffle House. So for
Nope.
those of you in the Waffle House caucus, it is not a Waffle House. But it's called the Buzz, and it has like over 100 different kinds of waffles.
Amazing. And
Like
it's delicious,
everything.
sweet and savory.
You could
And
have a chili dog waffle.
it's crazy pants. Anything you could have in
Yeah.
a waffle.
I had one with, I think, bacon and jalapenos.
That's
It was
amazing.
delicious. It was delicious.
Well, and I was thinking about your
So that's a surprise, Jared. Jared wants to know what's for dinner on Friday.
oh.
So Chris Claviter's mom is cooking it.
Ooh, I hear she's very good cook.
So super, super good.
I think you guys are gonna like that.
So yeah. So we'll have food there. We'll have drinks. We'll have all kinds of stuff. And speaking of drinks, what do you have in Heather?
I'm having a beer. It's the end of summer beer because it's like okay, I'm trying to drink up my last of my lemon summer shandies, and I turned the heat on in my house yesterday, so it's cold. So eventually, I'm gonna have to go to for more warm me up sort of drinks. So I might be doing more cocktails in the future, but for
So
now,
I'm having a cocktail.
ooh, that looks yum.
Best sound in the world,
That
right? That is the best
sounds
sound in the world.
good. Yes, it is. That
So
looks great.
my cocktail is a ginger martini.
Ooh,
And I
refresh.
made the ginger simple syrup, and I made it into the ice cubes so that as that melts, then, and when you shaker it, then it goes in there. But it's vodka, and it's ocean vodka, which is a sugarcane vodka out of Hawaii, and it is
Oh,
super good.
that sounds like a delicious. That
A
sounds so
very
good.
delicious one, yeah. And then I made the simple syrup, the ginger simple syrup, and then it has just a little bit of lime in it. So there
Oh,
you go.
perfect. I will say cheers to you.
Cheers.
We are going to have a great time this weekend.
And
Mm.
Jared wants to know what we're having for lunch on Saturday, and I know what he's angling for. And if I have time, which I'm desperately trying to block time out for, Jared, you and me, we're gonna
Oh,
have lunch.
it's a special lunch because I've heard him
Mm-hmm.
like trolling for this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a Nebraska lunch?
It may be a Nebraska lunch.
See, I think I know what it is, but I'm like, oh, well, we'll see because I know Kara's a super busy lady, so we'll see what happens. I know, right?
Yeah, and these things are super time intensive.
Oh my god, right?
Little bastards.
And you got like your city council stuff, you got like just your regular your work gig stuff, and you're doing all this planning, and you got candidates calling you nonstop. It sounds like so you busy
Oh my
lady.
God. Yes, yes, for real. Because I will tell you, candidates have a sixth sense for when I'm A, trying to eat a hot meal and I want it to still be hot,
He's like, for me.
or B, I'm trying to poop.
And they're like, oh, I feel like Kara's pooping. I should call her right now.
And people are like, why do you answer the phone? And I'm like, because they call and then they hang up and they call and then they hang up and then they call and then
You're
they
like,
hang
is
up. And
someone down?
you're like, oh my God.
Why won't you let me? But I think you should just at least finish the process of pooping and then call them.
I've just given up at this point. I just poop.
You're just like, hi, I'm pooping. So
Yeah.
what do you
And then I
want?
flushed. I just flushed. I'm like,
It must
you
have been
know,
really important that you called me 3 times. You're like, which
it is
color
important because
of
we're in
cream?
marriage counseling season for
Oh,
candidates.
because their spouses are all like, I'm going to leave you because this is nuts or what?
No,
No.
no, this is where candidates and their campaign teams and
Oh,
just the campaign teams amongst themselves, because it's getting stressful and we're entering the home stretch, and yet it's still a long time until November. They're
oh,
fighting. And so then we do a conference call and try to get everyone back on the same page.
oh, and you're like,
So that's my
come back,
marriage counseling.
come back. And this is Laura Tracy Lane. Yay!
Yay!
Good evening.
Yes, a good campaign ends with discussion of divorce. This is actually, yes, that is, yes.
I feel for you guys. It's a stressful time.
It is, yeah, it is a stressful time. And, and I joke about it a little bit, I tease a little bit about it, but it is extremely stressful and people are giving up every spare moment of their time,
They
you
really
know, and so they are under they're under very public scrutiny and everyone likes to talk about how you're screwing up your campaign and everything you're doing wrong. But that doesn't mean they're donating or they are helping.
no.
They just want to trash on you.
They're like, you could be doing this so much better. I'm like, and
Yeah,
come help, come
right.
help. And they're like, no,
So,
not
yeah,
so
so
you can
they're
do.
under that stress. For months now, they have not had a family dinner. They're lucky if they have clean underwear. They're surviving on gas station hot dogs. You know, they're
No.
just, they're tired. Their feet hurt. Their bodies are starting to break down. And yeah, I mean, it's rough. It is really, really rough. And it's the candidate and the campaign team. And so they're usually we get into September and the excitement has worn off, right? Now
Yep.
we're into the absolute gutting it out grind to the end. But
Oh,
we still have the rest of September and all of October, so the end isn't close enough in sight to give the second wind yet.
dear Lord.
So this is the part in marathons where people give up, right?
Yeah, no
When you
kidding.
see people running their first marathon and that kind of stuff, this is where they give up.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I mean it's just so stressful and there's exciting parts and all that kind of stuff, but this is a tough time for candidates and campaign teams. So if you have or you know of a good candidate or campaign team, at the very least, just send them a nice email or note or message just saying, I
Yeah.
see what you guys are doing. I'm really proud of you and I'm so happy you're doing this. Just that can keep a campaign going and together. And if you can volunteer or donate, you would be surprised what $5 can do on a really down day. That you just get
Yeah.
$5 from someone randomly.
Somebody give me money. They
It's an
believe in me.
amazing thing. Yeah, it really is an amazing thing. So yeah, but we're
Well,
into
that's
full
what to
marriage
do.
counseling, so I am trying to answer my phone
It's
at
like
any time
DoorDash.
because sometimes when these teams get into a moment of crisis, a few words at the right time can get everyone grouped back together and going again. Um, Otherwise, we do have people that they have to step away or they have to quit or that kind of stuff. So we're trying to avoid that. And we're trying to keep people focused and energized and moving forward. Because the other positive thing is that win, lose, or draw, these campaign teams do become like your family and they become
Thank you.
long-term friends. Like you have been through some shit together. So it's kind of amazing. And I have made so many friends on campaign teams that have been friends for years.
Yeah.
And like they're some of my really good friends
They're
that stick by me no
dedicated.
matter what.
They're
So
such good people.
that's the incredibly positive part.
Yeah, I love that because I know we do hear a lot about the stressful stuff, but
Hmm.
to hear how close people can get from this
Oh
and
yeah.
how they believe in each other and gonna keep each other going, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You you
So
you
pretty
you
exciting.
you're kind of like a general, like leading them to their winning their battles or whatever, or maybe it's a more positive way, like not war, um, like a bartender, listening to their sad stories and going, yeah, but you know what, you're awesome at this, and they're like, yeah, yeah, woo. Here's a drink. I don't know. There's lots of ways to look at it. But cheers to you, lady. Mm. Oh, so you know, I think that one of the things that really got me excited today was seeing there was a new movie trailer that came out,
Yes.
and I'm obsessed with it, and I think you're more obsessed with it.
I'm beyond obsessed with it.
And I was thinking we could talk a little bit about our newest obsession today, and then I was thinking about showing. Maybe I should just show it. I have it up on the screen. Do you want me just to show it? Do you think it's okay if I show it? It'll be smaller.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then we'll say what it is. I won't say what it is until we show it. So I'm gonna do that. Let's see, share audio. Here we go.
And in the comments, let us know that you can hear the audio.
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it. What did you see? There's a crusade coming. Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them? Yes. The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die. What's in the box? Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned. My father rules an entire planet. He's losing it. He's getting a richer one. He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap. Kill him. This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one. Let's fight the demons. An animal caught in a trap.
Yeah, I'm good with MoMA on there.
Me too.
I know you. One day,
Batista looks like such a badass.
will be
Oh
born.
shit.
All of civilization depends on it. The future.
The Pink Floyd song.
Mhm.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
Hello, Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I remain.
Ooh.
Shalaoud.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm freaking excited. Oh my god.
So I have loved the whole Dune series since I was a little kid.
Oh, I know it. I
Loved the Dune series.
I was obsessed with the movie from '84. Oh my god, Kyle MacLachlan. Oh, he was so hot. I loved him.
See, I was kind of okay with it. I was okay
Really?
with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you know,
But when I was looking at I'm gonna mess up all the names, but Timothy Chalamet, whatever. I always want to call him Timothy Calamine Lotion, and he's so talented. He's a really great guy. He just looks like a baby to me. So I Googled it today to see how old Kyle was when he did the role, and Kyle is 25 and Timothy is 24. So they're practically the same age. So I just need to get over how old I am.
exactly.
It blew my socks off. Like all the people on that are just amazing.
Yeah.
Like you said, Batista, Jason Momoa, freaking Hunky Man. Patrick Stewart character? Is he which
Duncan,
one?
Idaho.
Duncan Idaho, right? So that's the same character, right? Yeah.
But oh my God, I loved that whole Dune series. Okay, I did not like the ones that his son wrote based on his notes.
Yeah. I mean, the
Those,
style's
I'm
different.
sorry, were shit.
Yeah.
But I loved that whole Dune series. Although the later ones got kind of way more freaky and sexual.
That's what I was thinking. Like, am I remembering this weird? Like, okay, it started off a little sexy, but then it got really sexy in the end.
Yeah, the witches that control people through addictive sex.
That's how you do it.
And I was like,
They're not wrong. Oh, and this is I think this is Laura
yeah.
again. Let's see. Yes, the Dune series is awesome. I need to reread it. It's been forever.
But yeah, especially like the first 4 books.
Yes.
God, those were incredible.
They're so good.
And I loved God Emperor of Doom. And I know it was really freaking long. It
They're
was
so long.
really, it was a doorstopper book. But I
some
loved
parts-
that one.
It's like I love the main storyline, but sometimes Frank Herbert would get really into like the geology, and I mean it was part of the story, so it helped you understand it. And when you reread it, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But the first time I'd read it, I'm like, what the hell? What's with this whole chapter on like, you know, like the geology and how this like changed over time? I'm like, so that was my only problem with it, but I love the freaking stories. They're very good. Okay.
Well, and I love them because, I mean, Dune is a political thriller.
It is, isn't it?
That's what the books are. And I know they're considered science fiction, but they're political thrillers is what they are.
Yeah.
They're all about political systems. And yes, they have other elements to them and all that kind of stuff, but it's examining different political systems, how people achieve power, how people use power, what is an ethical use of power. And so, I mean, I find them just incredibly fascinating for that. It's almost like reading histories of like the Persian Empire or something like that. I mean, it's just, you know, so you look at like these systems and it brings the economics into it as well, because one beef that I have with a lot of sci-fi or fantasy series are they may get the human element and they may get a political element into it and start exploring those relationships, but they leave out that element of how does economics fit into all of this and interact. And so Dune was like this amazing intersection of kind of science and magic, right?
Right.
You know, political drama, an economic drama, and then just these deep dives into the individual personality dynamics as well. So, I mean, I consider the Dune series like one. I know some people are like Tolkien is like the shit, right? And it is.
Yeah, I'm
not arguing with you.
It's not political in that way.
Dune is better. So much better. The Dune series is so much better.
Now, how do you feel about the film interpretations of each of them? Like, have you seen the miniseries too? You did, didn't you? Yeah. So what are your feelings about these and the progression you're seeing?
Part of it is how the books are written. That's extremely hard to capture in film.
Yeah.
And like the Dune movie, right? They tried to capture some of that through having voiceovers of what people are thinking and that kind of stuff. But that was still kind of clunky, right?
I mean,
you know, it still kind of would jar you out of it all the time, and you're like, but I don't know how you capture the complexity, because so much of what takes place in Dune is they're not physical actions, and they're not even conversations.
No.
It's what people are thinking in their heads and what they're planning and how they're perceiving something else, which then drives their response. And I think Dune has a layer of complexity that is really hard to do in film or animation or anything like that. This looks pretty good, but this doesn't even look like the first book, though. This looks like the Ballad of Paul Atreides.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what this looks like, right? Which I'm totally here for. If you do just that really well, I will be so freaking happy I can't even stand it.
Yes. I hope they get it right. I know it looks amazing. But I'm always like, until I see it, I always feel like, how are they going to screw this up for me?
But I'm so going to see this in the theater.
Oh my God, right? I mean, it looks like something made for the theater. It better not just go straight to like
IMAX.
Amazon Prime or something, because it.
Fuck that. No, they're releasing this December in theaters.
No matter what.
They're releasing it December in theaters.
Okay, because I'm freaking gonna go.
The second those tickets go on sale for IMAX.
We're going. You want to go?
Yes.
Please, let's go.
Yes.
You and I, we can get dressed up and go to the movie and embarrass.
I am so gonna do this. Yeah. No, I am super excited about it. And the really, this should not be a spoiler for anyone, people. Dune's been out a long damn time. But if they could somehow, okay, so here's the movie is also about kind of unintended consequences and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, you're rooting the whole time for the liberation of the Fremen, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, that's a good thing. And also, Paul Atreides is the hero, and so you have all of these elements. But what happens when the hero can see what the future is based on his every move, and he knows that by the Fremen winning, that this takes the universe down this horrific path.
And so, when you see things that far out, you'd almost be like paralyzed. Most people, the decision, like, if I make this decision, this bad thing will happen. If I make this decision, eventually a bad thing will happen. Right now it might feel good, but in 1,000 years we'll be destroyed by it. So you feel like nothing you do will ever be good enough. Right.
And when he has that knife fight at the very end, right?
Yeah.
Every swipe and move of the knife is displaying hundreds of different future possibilities to him in that moment. And he is having to weave his way through. He's already on a path that he knows he can't escape the bad ramifications of what's happening. So he's got to pick the least shitty. He's got to pick the one that, even though they're going to go through horrific oppression, which is what God Emperor of Dune is about, that they can come back from it. Because the other ones they don't come back from. Right?
It's like Doctor Strange, like going, okay, which of the billion options can we pick that maybe we can win? It might suck right away, but we can come back from it.
Yeah, which you have that one segment of it, and then that kind of goes away a little bit in the other books. It really comes back, and it's really the whole premise of God Emperor of Dune. And you have, Leto, who is doing this horrifically oppressive government for over 1,000 years, right? Yeah. And he is charting this horrifically lonely path as well. He's a horrible despot. Horrible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Horrific. But he's the Phoenix. His death will bring the rebirth. But it's 1,000 years of total shit until then.
You're like, God, we got to wait so long. God, Emperor, what is this?
Yes.
God Emperor in 2020. Oh Lord. You could like put a lot of this and compare it to modern society and the way we handle things, but we also don't have God sense where we can look into 1,000 years in the future and go, what was the right way to go? Maybe this terrible thing leads to something good eventually. I don't know. But as humans, we are very short-sighted. We like to have instant gratification. We like to have things now, and we don't want to be in any pain. But if you could see that your actions right now in 1,000 years would bring ultimate peace, that might make you feel a little bit better about doing some of this shitty stuff that you have to do. I don't think I'm cut out to be a god, though.
Me neither.
Who's your favorite character in Dune, Cara? Or in any of your Dune series, actually? I'd say that's a broader question.
Oh man, that's a hard one. I like different characters in the different books.
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah.
Some of the books, like, they develop, like, I think Lady Jessica gets more interesting. And then I also, like, weirdly kind of like, is the father, okay, in the movie, the redhead guy, is that Leto? Is that his name? Or is
Yeah,
it
Leto. Yeah.
Leto. And like, there's some stuff that he does I think is really interesting, even though he's supposed to be gross and despicable and horrific. There are some.
Oh no, that's not. Leto is Paul Atreides' dad.
No. What's the name of the
Baron Harkonnen.
Baron Harkonnen. Okay. And I was just like, there's something about him, and it's gross. It's so gross, but it's very interesting. And so, like, I love that when you have really good bad guys, for the good guys to play off of, because, like, really, it's terrifying. So no, like, okay, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Nope. I wanted to hear what characters you like.
Yeah, I'm not as well versed with Dune as you are. You read everything. I think you read it multiple times too. And I know you're going to be wearing costumes. So, but I was just like, which costumes is Cara going to pick? Now, is that a different kind of thing though? What costumes that you pick from a movie or whatever, or books? Actually, I think making costumes from books is way more interesting because you may have a different interpretation than the movie did. However, it's way harder when you go to something like a Dragon Con that people don't recognize it right away unless there's some emblem or something on it that they're like, oh, I know it. But that's the hardcore fans that recognize stuff. Because we would always pick costumes that were obscure. I do mashups and nobody ever gets it. Oh, she'll be Paul's little sister. Oh yeah. That's cute.
That actually is one of my favorite characters.
He's neat and spooky as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And then in the second one, she just goes apeshit insane, and
it's out of hand. Seriously. Yeah. I love that. But or one of us can go as a sandworm. That would be kind of fun. That would be really recognizable, I'd say. You just like go in the big body thing and then go tilt your head over. Give me beer.
That sandworm looks like a butthole with teeth.
It's like a penis with a butthole and teeth. It's like all of the worst craziness mashed up into one. But I love them because,
with a bunch of elbows.
Yeah. Gross. I still think it'd be a fun costume to wear because, like, if you had a big group of people dressed as Dune, you'd have to have at least one person dressed as Sandworm.
Oh, you could do it like a Chinese dragon.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Ooh.
You run around. We could be a Sandworm.
This might be an idea.
And you could have built-in, like, drink holders in there, and you could have, like, all sorts of.
This might be an idea.
If you do it right, it's not super hot because you're not total body. You just like run around.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so awesome. So if it comes out in December next year, we will have like a whole year pretty much to plan for it. So we'll have to see, because you know what? You may see a character and they're like, well, F that. I'm dressing as this person. I'm going to be Jason Momoa, because, you know, everyone looks at me and thinks Jason Momoa. Yeah. Because I'm not 6'4" or whatever, 6'8", whatever.
I
they say.
suspect there might be a few people dressed like him at Dragon Con. And
Oh,
as long as they look like him, I'm kind of okay with that.
Well, it's like you got like Khal Drogo and Poe Dameron, and like there's so many characters in here that are just like God, it's like every movie, every genre, it's like everyone is in this. So Josh Brolin, who's Thanos. God, I'm just like picturing people from the trailer that we just watched. There's just so many people. Like how I'm gonna be squeeing the whole time. Like really, except when they die. There's a few of them that die. So I'm like, no. So it's worth it though. I mean, do you think if this is successful, it will be successful? It will be. I think it'll be successful. Do you think people don't know what Dune is? I mean, do the little kids today not read enough that they won't know? Or will they see all the famous people in it and think, Timothy Chalamet and whatever is on it, and I'm gonna go see that. And I'm like, yes, please do. And then maybe you get a new generation.
I don't know.
Do it. I hope so. We need more good sci-fi. We need more good political fantasy. We need we need more. And also, I just want to go to movies. Like, even if it wasn't a kick-ass awesome movie, I just want to go to movies. So anything that gets people out there, let's do that.
Well, movie theaters are opening in Minnesota, so.
And you know,
we've had them open for a while now.
Well,
like
ours just opened,
a month, I think,
like a couple weeks in Mankato, but you know, it's not been any good movies. But you know, like maybe
you're still getting second run, or
yeah, it's mostly second run and ones from last year, and so. But there's and a few like of those how do I say this nicely? Ones I wouldn't go see or even watch on Netflix for free. You know, like there's a few of those. I'm like, yeah, it's a teen romance. She's misunderstood. He's the cute jock that everyone loves, and somehow they end up together. You're like, I don't need that crap. Like when I was in high school, I watched Heathers and Winona Ryder, and they blew up schools, and it was really like horrific. And but you know what? I had a goth like childhood, so whatever. In Iowa, which is like so as goth as you can be in Iowa. Yeah. So anyway, I guess we're really excited about the movie.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Could be a little bit excited, yeah.
Because like squee.
Oh, I didn't tell you what happened to my campaign manager.
Oh, to Miss Mabel?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to her?
So we went out on Saturday night. We went to dinner and went out for drinks. And as is usual, we left the sliding patio door open and then the screen door so she can go out on our deck. And it's a second story deck, so it's not like, you know, she can just jump out in the trees or something. Yeah. It's a second story deck, and she hasn't, you know, gone away or anything like that. And she enjoys that. Yeah. And she enjoys watching for her Arch, Buttercup, and then having an occasional like yowling fest with her and that kind of stuff.
Makes her feel powerful.
Yeah. And then, you know, and there's a gentleman cat that comes around every once in a while, Jim, and they have a fight. Yep. But, you know, he's trying to just impress her. So, you know, he's fighting with her, but not like, you know, fighting. No. She's fighting with him. I mean, she's totally kicking his ass.
Like, oh, you.
Yeah. She drives him away. So we came back.
Uh-oh.
And Mabel greeted us at the door, which was sweet, and she usually does that, and it's nice. And so I went upstairs, and then I looked at her. She had blood on her.
Oh
Blood.
no! Did she kill something?
She had bite puncture marks on her
Oh
and, like,
no!
bites on the back of her head.
Oh, somebody schooled her.
And she was, like, so freaked out and scared and upset and traumatized, and
Poor girl.
so we think she was probably napping.
And they really freaked her out. Snuck up on her.
And there was a surprise attack. Either that or it could
no.
just be, she was losing the battle. But there were also mouthfuls of her fur on the living room floor.
Oh, so they got in the house.
Oh, yeah. So there was a knockdown drag out in the house.
Oh, no. Poor Mabel.
And she did successfully drive the invader out. And I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
were-
we were there very long after it happened. I think this was pretty recent. But yeah, so
no.
she spent the night laying directly on top of Tracy.
Like, protect
me! And yeah, so she's been recovering. So like the first few days, she just had this like really sad, worried look on her face.
Poor Mabel.
But then starting yesterday, she, kind of looked herself and that kind of stuff. But she saw a cat outside and she puffed up and just totally lost her shit. Like,
no.
tipped her little sitting tree over because she was spazzing so bad the whole bit. So
Like, they better not come back here.
so yeah, so the campaign manager has a little PTSD right now.
Oh no. So are you keeping her in at night? Like keeping the door shut? Yeah,
Yep.
that's probably a good idea. So,
We're gonna let her recover, let her little walnut brain sort out the information and get better.
oh my God. That would be so scary to come home and see your cat have blood on her though. I
And then
mean,
fortunately it wasn't a lot of blood, but it was some puncture bites. So
did you have to
and
take
her little tummy had like a little rake scratch mark.
and it's been healing.
I
Those
know.
sons of bitches. Leave Mabel alone.
I know.
Why?
See, that just goes to show you can think you're the baddest ass in the world, and then someone takes it to you.
Yep. They bite a chunk out of you, and then you're like, I guess I'm not so badass.
Yep. Exactly.
And mommy, help. Yeah, she's a tough kitty. She's a pretty big, like tough girl with those claws and stuff. But some of those young cats are pretty spry.
Yeah. Well, and it was probably just a larger, meaner Tom, and it was raining, so I'm sure that cat really wanted inside.
It's like, hey, I'll hang out. Oh,
yep,
watch
exactly.
The runes. They don't want them to...
We have been watching them. They seem to be healing well, but we're keeping a very close eye on them because, yes, puncture wounds are tricky.
They really are. Oh, I'm so sorry.
So called the vet and they said just, keep a watch. So I look at it twice a day, move the fur and check. And
man, that poor girl. She was doing so well. She was fending them off. I wonder if it's a different cat because those other ones were she just keeping them
I know
away.
it was not Buttercup. Buttercup is like a wimp.
Yeah,
and Jim, although a Tom, I mean, I've actually witnessed their fights, and he's just like putting up the I want to impress you fight. It's not like how some of the like farm Toms are, where they really will they will puncture the back of the neck.
They're
that
trying
kind of thing. Like they're really mean. Well, they're not trying to kill, but they're mean about the old cat rape. They're really mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if somebody was trying to mate with Mabel, and she's like, "What?"
Jim wasn't like that. He was just,
He says, "I want your company." Okay, we'll show you a little bit. Okay, I'm done.
Exactly. So
some big bad boy.
Yes, Yes.
Oh, I'm
That's what
sorry.
we think. On the outside chance it might have been a raccoon, though.
Oh, that's even worse. Yuck.
So
You know
could
how I
have been a
feel
raccoon.
about raccoons. Raccoons and me do not get along after this year. Those mofos taunted me when we went camping.
Yes.
Like, you can hear them like stealing the cheese, which is bad, and then like the little claws on the outside of my tent, and it going
Right.
hee, laughing at me. I'm like,
Yes. And I mean,
yeah.
and here's the thing: I need my campaign manager.
Yeah, you do. You can't. I mean, what's
I got
campaign
to get
manager?
elected, right?
You got to get elected.
Yes. Got to
And
get reelected.
she helps. She does a lot of work.
She does. Lot of supervising.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to keep on task if you don't
I
have
don't know.
somebody to sit
Laying
on
on
your
my
lap,
computer board.
lay there, bite you in the face every so often, kiss you during meetings?
Yep.
It's just yeah, you got to keep that girl safe. God, I don't know. Can you get
So
like
we're
a
getting close to where we say what our one awesome thing was that happened this week. So those of you that are watching our podcast, if you want to share in the comments what one awesome thing happened with you this week that you enjoyed, or it could be something big, it could be something small, whatever, but just one awesome thing, and then you can share that. And yeah.
Please do. We love hearing your good stuff.
Absolutely. It's good to, share our good news, especially, not every week is the best week. And so
No.
sometimes hearing everyone else's like good news or good things happening or that kind of stuff, it's just a nice thing that we can all celebrate and feel good about.
Yes, I love hearing things to celebrate and having good things to look forward to. Like this
Yeah.
weekend with the LNC coming, I think that's going to be like a super fun thing, and it makes me happy.
Yeah. So what is yours?
Mine was we had a belated anniversary since we didn't go to Dragon Con like Cara and I usually do this year. My husband Andy and I had our 17-year anniversary weekend and had lots of fun and smooching and stuff that you don't want to hear about. But yeah, it was really good, and just getting to spend time with him. Sometimes where you get married and you're like, go 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 go, do stuff, do this, and you're like, it's nice to just sit down and go, hey, I like you. This is why we've been married for so long. We're kind of awesome. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yay. That's good. That is very good.
How about you, Cara?
So, yes. So usually Heather and I are at Dragon Con this weekend.
Which I miss terribly.
Yeah. And that totally sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not.
No, I'm butthurt in big ways, and I'm mad about the universe. But next year we're gonna kick ass, and we're gonna be a big giant sandworm, and we're gonna scare the shit out of people.
Well, and here's the thing. So, and I know, and believe me, I understand and I appreciate. Different events are trying to figure out ways to do a virtual event, and for a lot of people that made them really happy, and it was something good. It was at least something, right? Mm-hmm. And I am really thrilled for people that they were able to do that and have a little bit of something. But for me, like, going to Dragon Con isn't about the stars that are there, and it's not about the panels that you can go to.
I like them, but
or the workshops, and it's not even the costumes. And I really like making the costumes and wearing them, but it's not even that. It is getting to see friends that's the only time we see them.
Right?
Is going there and hanging out with them. And and I've learned in the past years that really the only thing that matters is people. It's the people in your life. Like, that's really it. And so, well, I get and appreciate that they did this, did this virtual event, and they had a lot of panels and they had a lot of things for people to see and participate and all that kind of stuff. I didn't give a shit. Like that
No.
was not anything I was interested in. So fuck
I,
it. Like I'm not into it. Like I'm
no,
not into
I
it. And
totally
that's like
get
all
that.
these events that are doing virtual things.
It's
I
not the
just
same.
No, it's not. It's not because it's all about that personal human connection. It's all about seeing one another and having those spontaneous moments that you remember and it's part of your life and it's, those are worth everything. So, fuck it. Fuck virtual. I'm so over virtual.
Yeah.
Virtual, everything can just die in a fire. So,
Well, yeah.
um,
Or maybe
that's
our
my
show.
view of it. So yeah,
No,
and
okay. So what was the real life awesome thing then?
yeah, so, I wasn't going to sit at home and do the virtual thing. Like that
No,
wasn't going to happen.
no, I know
But
you.
my weekend was still pretty awesome. Like I didn't think of it as Dragon Con weekend. I just thought of it as like this is going to be an awesome weekend that I get to spend with my husband, and that's what we did. And so it
Yay.
was like a bunch of small things. It was like having breakfast together. And
Right.
it was we had dinner with friends and went out for drinks and stayed out till 1:30 in the morning. And,
Yay.
I mean, it was
Okay, because
incredible.
you go to bed early, so that's
Like
pretty
yeah, like
exciting.
for me, staying up is like 10 o'clock. So that was
Yeah.
a big deal. And, I mean, we just did like a bunch of really cool things. We celebrated my nephew's birthday.
Yay.
So we had a family event and it was great. We went to my sister's cabin and
Oh, that's
hung out there
amazing.
for an evening and had a fire, and we went out on their boat and watched the sunset on the lake.
Love
Um,
it.
we bought a bunch of totally illegal fireworks and set them the hell off. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was like a lot of really incredible things.
Woo.
We went to another friend's place in like rural Wisconsin, and it was great to see them because we haven't seen them for like a year.
Yeah.
And we camped at their place, and it was incredible because we were able to camp right down on the stream, and all night you're hearing that little
Burbling.
river bubbling and that kind of stuff, and it was
Oh, I love
just
it.
gorgeous. And we had dinner with them at their place, and so I mean it was just all of these wonderful moments spent with incredible people making these lasting memories, and you can't ask for a better weekend.
No, and it's real. I mean, virtual stuff isn't real. And that, those are the things you're going to remember is having moments with people.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So that was pretty incredible. It was a great weekend.
I don't see anybody writing. Did you guys have anything you wanted to share too? I mean, like, I'm sure you guys are doing awesome stuff too. Like, celebrate the things, like all the things.
I think they fell asleep when I was talking about the economic situation in Dune.
I didn't fall asleep because I think you're right on, baby. I think maybe they should just be aware of it. They don't have to understand it, but be aware there's a political, economic element to Dune that you should pay attention to. But that's why I love you, Cara, because you are into some really cool shit, and that's awesome. So that's another awesome thing is Cara's awesome. And you're working your butt off to get all these people here to our state and have a good time this weekend. So I'm going to enjoy
We will
that.
have a good time. And I'm super excited to see a whole bunch of you LNCers. And
Yes.
also we will have LP Minnesota people there. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, I think we're going to have a fantastic weekend.
Yes. And if you want to be our Patreon, go to our Patreon page and give us money because we'd love to have that. I don't know. I never expected. If we ever do, I'm just going to lose my shit for a week, I think. I will never stop talking about it.
Well, yeah. Well, and if they do give us money, we'll probably just use it for alcohol.
Yeah, we'll squander it. I promise you we'll squander it, but I will be so grateful. Oh, I can't even. So
That could happen.
it could happen. It could happen. So on that note, I hope you have a great week. And next week we can talk about how it was for the LNC here in Minnesota and how cool it is to see everyone.
Yes. Hopefully everything goes smoothly.
Yes, it will. There's always a few bumps for everything, but it will be good. And
No stress. No stress.
my deodorant died. Like, great. Well, guys, have a great week, and we will see you next week on the Sweet Subversives. And yeah, just be cool. Have a good time. We'll see y'all later. Now I'm gonna do this thing. Here we go. Bye-bye.